Okay, welcome to our Wednesday night Call of Cthulhu games. Today is Wednesday, of course, October the 1st, 2014. Finally October, best month of the year. And this is our Wednesday night game 6, session 3. So in other words, this particular game that we're playing, this particular session, this is our third time in the story as we progress. So if you're watching and you haven't seen the previous games or you don't remember because we've been absent for a couple of weeks, we'll do a little synopsis. Or Ben will, because I don't remember a damn thing.
I don't either.
I'm sure he'll jog our memory. Are we missing anybody? Or do we have everybody?
Yeah, we're missing Nathan.
Yep.
Nathan? Okay. Did I send him a link? Let me see here. Were we including him in those emails? Yeah, he's the chalk 1 email, I think. Okay. Well, anyway.
That's
Ben,
his car we put up there instead of mine, isn't it?
The rolling Molotov. I remember that much.
Ben, will you refresh our memory on this game and where we're at?
Absolutely. Well, this game started in Arkham, Massachusetts. We are in October now of 1925. The investigators met at a fundraising luncheon for Miskatonic University. Upon leaving the luncheon, our friend Mr. Kavanaugh's chauffeur mistakenly hit a young Southern boy who asked the investigators for help in a plot down here in South Carolina that involved his sister. From there, the investigators went to the home of Professor Gist, who was a visiting psychology professor to Miskatonic. And through the young boy, little Joe, they were informed that Professor Gist's brother Caleb was performing human sacrifice on the family plantation. Or
That's just wrong.
What's that? That's just wrong? Yeah.
I think that's wrong. Yeah.
You're coming out against human
Come
sacrifice.
on, man.
Bold stance.
Listen, I know.
Try not to
you
be too
guys-
political on this show, but
Sorry, but I just.
you feel strongly about it.
Come on now. There's always a place for human sacrifice.
Pros and cons. We'll agree to disagree.
Yes.
All right.
The investigators.
We'll do that.
The investigators boarded. Oh, that's fine. The investigators boarded a train on Mr. Kavanaugh's tab and headed down to South Carolina. And in the midst of their journey, they had their first run-in with the Walking Dead. They see, even if you sacrifice him, you can always bring him back.
Okay.
And is it really a sacrifice though if they come back?
Well, it's a matter of how you believe about the soul. So, as of the last time we played, the train had just come into the station in Charleston, South Carolina, and the investigators were just getting ready to disembark.
And I think it was Steve a couple weeks ago suggested I take this off my bookcase.
Right.
And since the last time we played, Dr. Thompson was not with us. I will quickly get him and you all back together, because Dr. Thompson was the unfortunate victim of a bullet wound from the thugs that decided to shoot up Professor Gist's house. And while you all boarded the train, he was still at the hospital getting patched up. Luckily enough, he managed to catch a train himself, and by the power of plot and such things, both trains happened to arrive at relatively the same time.
What are the odds?
In fact, Dr. Thompson's train got there a little before yours because yours was the luxury version and it goes a little slower.
Well, ours also had a zombie attack, so
Oh,
yeah, that does tend to slow things down a little bit.
They had to stop to go back to get that body to put it back in the coffin.
Exactly. I do remember that
they were in trouble.
Roscoe was very upset about the way he was treated on that train, calling him a liar.
I'm an academic. I'm used to coach.
I made that guy personally apologize to each and every one of you.
He ain't even mad about the dead guy anymore.
A happy conductor. So, you have all arrived into the station at Charleston, South Carolina. And after being treated like kings by the rail company, you are disembarked from the train to the boarding platform, where strangely
disembarked?
enough,
You said
yes,
disembarked.
From the
Okay,
train.
you said something else for a second there.
I'm sorry.
What do you think he said?
Disemboweled, maybe? I don't know.
You were disemboweled and what?
You were disemboweled.
I missed something there.
Did I say that? I'm sorry.
No.
Foreshadowing.
I misheard.
He's getting ahead of himself.
Yeah. Oh.
I didn't even get a dodge.
You don't get a dodge.
There's a sneak attack.
What game do you think this is?
That's a waste of points.
So upon exiting the train, you all see a vaguely familiar face waiting for you on the platform. It is Dr. Greg Thompson.
Hey. How to meet you guys
Hey,
here?
good time there, Doc.
How you doing?
Wow.
I thought I was going to have to
All
go look for
the
you.
fun.
What happened?
Stinking conductor's telling me I'm a liar for
We
dead people in boxes and I should have stayed home.
we had a visitor in the middle of the night,
Yeah, somebody died.
and then they came to visit us.
Weird.
Yeah.
Never gonna get that smell out of my nose.
Is everybody okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little shaken up, but okay.
I mean,
Okay, excuse me, Mr. Keeper, guys. I am going to pick up my wife from work. She's about 10 minutes away, so I'm going to be back in about 25 minutes. So, no tears. I'll be back. So, anyway, have fun. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Well, I'm sure somebody will be dead by the time you get back.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Probably.
If only.
I seem to be the one that likes to die on Tuesdays.
Well,
No, wait, it's Wednesdays. I may live now. I may live.
You're completely safe.
If you didn't die yesterday, you're okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, Professor Gist and Little Joke are the last ones off the train. And one of the station functionaries runs up to Professor Gist and hands him a telegram. And he tips the man and he runs off. Professor Gist reads the report, walks up to you and says, "Oh, the gentleman that was to meet us here with his car said he will be here tomorrow. He was delayed."
Well, good thing we have a car.
Can we all fit into that other one?
I don't think we'll all fit.
Speaking of that, everyone, make dexterity rolls ×5, please.
Oh boy.
As a wave of sound hits you from behind.
Boom.
And the Molotov that was on wheels has just exploded.
That is amazing.
Pieces of car and train
I am fine.
are flying through the air.
Oh, if
You
only I
are-
could have that. I could have done a ninja roll out of the way instead of just ducking behind a mailbox.
Yes, if you have made it, you manage to catch yourself before when the explosion wave lifted you up, so you don't land in a heap and consequently take damage. Did everyone make their rolls?
Got it.
I think
I pass.
Did anyone miss it?
Did anyone miss?
Yeah, I blew it completely.
Oh, you blew it?
I have a dexterity of 5.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Just as you
Everything
were-
is going to kill me. Everything.
Just as you were reacquainting yourself with the other investigators, you, unlike them, whose backs were to the train, saw this wave of debris and fire
Duck!
walk out. You're like, ah! And deposited you unceremoniously behind some shipping crates.
Nice.
All right, you're in charge of catching all the bullets from now on.
You'll take.
I just got here.
I don't think he has a choice.
I
Go to
take
the 5.
6 damage.
Back to the hospital with you.
Maybe we're bad luck.
God, I'm down to 4 hit points.
Oh
Jeez.
dear. Welcome back.
Hey! Bam!
Mm.
So
See,
much for Southern hospitality.
I knew that was gonna happen. And then I walk over trying to help the doctor up.
Station personnel and other passengers are scrambling in all directions. People are shouting. Mr. Cravenel, Juan picks you up, kind of dusts you off, and starts railroading you to safety. The rest of you see Mr. Cavanaugh being railroaded to safety, and I would assume that you are following.
Oh yes, because sooner or later they're gonna figure out who that car belonged to. And then he was with us.
Is there anybody else around that is in dire need of first aid or anything? Like
Me.
bystanders, other than you, of course?
Oh, other than me.
I mean, if there's people we need to pull from the wreckage or anything like that?
The station personnel are handling that fairly well, despite the confusion. They are very professional.
Better be good at
They get this
something.
all the time.
Most of the people were already off the train, so there aren't too many casualties, walking wounded, or anything like that.
I told you that thing was a death trap.
Mr. Marsh is going to be supremely upset.
I could care less what Mr. Marsh has a problem with. If he brought that, this is his fault.
He's
I have a
just
feeling he won't see it that way.
Marsh is standing there in just utter shock.
We leave him standing there.
Catatonic for the rest of the night.
Yeah, he had an investment in that car.
Yes.
No, wait, he's got a good gun. I kind of get behind him and usher him. Come on, man, don't stand there and stare at it.
Yeah.
He kind of walks in a kind of a fugue state. He just kind of goes where he's led.
Are there like sirens or police or anything?
Police are starting to drive in. Because the transit cops were obviously first on the scene.
Just
But
imagine how much money that was that just blew up.
All of it.
Yeah, that was a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
I will try to give Dr. Thompson first aid, but I feel that Roscoe is probably better at it than I am.
Who
I
is
can give it a shot. Let's see.
Oh, I made mine.
I made mine.
beat
So, you can go have at.
All right.
Cthulhu.
Take the check.
All right. So that should
Yeah,
get you
save
back.
15.
What does that give me, like a hit point? I forget how this.
It depends on what he rolls. My money's on 1.
I think it's 1. I'm betting on 1.
There's no bonus, right? It's just straight D4.
Yeah, I think it's a D4. Oh, you get 2.
There you go.
Ha! He beat us by 1.
So they pick the little bits of shrapnel out of you and patch you up again. Pull out one of the flasks that were salvaged from Mr. Marsh's walking deathmobile.
And the one to sit
You're
while
feeling
we
very
dab
good.
with the other. Effective, you'll be fine.
I want to take some time out and invent Kevlar.
Dude, that's
There you
just
go. Make a million. Make millions.
You
I would
won't
like
live long
every-
enough to see them at this rate.
I would like everyone to make a spot hidden, please.
I'd have a chance at that.
Yep. There is dust in my eyes.
made it.
No, I did make that. I made it by 1.
Oh, there you go.
I got odd 1.
Ooh, I nailed it.
You see the universe in its pulse.
Yes.
The universe unfolds before you, and Great
Make a
Cthulhu
sound.
reaches
Make a
out.
candle. Yeah.
It slides you down into this.
You see Azathoth and go instantly insane.
Yeah, exactly.
Just kidding. Those of you that have made it, you notice that amidst the bedlam and milling people and everything, there are 2 individuals. They're dressed fairly, poorly. They look like sharecroppers, but they seem to be taking a definite interest in you all.
Oh, hell.
I will point them out to Professor Gist and Little Joe and say, no. You recognize those gentlemen?
When they see you pointing, both of them turn around and start running
Away or towards?
away.
Let him go as far as I'm concerned.
If
I'm not running them down.
I'm not either. I don't know any of you well enough to run them down.
if Gist doesn't see him in time, I'll just describe them to him and see if it rings a bell.
You think those might be saboteurs?
They may have just been waiting for the train or waiting for that other fella and his coffin companion.
Personally, I think that blew up on its own. For the mere fact that it was completely volatile.
It doesn't seem unlikely,
But
especially
why
if
did
it was roughly handled.
wait until we got right here? And the train
Would
was
you rather
gonna
have
stop?
exploded?
Well, this is when they were starting to move it again.
Divine
actually.
Providence. That's what Roscoe attributes it to.
I
The
have,
good Lord was looking after us, and we're fine. We are
I'll check is my
blessed
mask
on this day. Let me go forth and find beer and give Thanksgiving.
Can I limp over where the explosion was and just kind of have a peek around and work some chemistry magic and see if I see like outside accelerants or like somebody hucked a Molotov at it or anything like that?
Make a chemistry roll then, please.
That's kind of my bailiwick. That's the one thing I'm really good at, actually. And watch me blow it.
The dice are cruel, cruel mistresses.
Almost. I got it.
You did get it?
Yeah.
While you're poking around, you see obvious evidence of alcohol, like the evidence of an alcohol explosion.
Okay.
But
Mm.
as you're going around near where you assume the engine might have been, you do see evidence of a dynamite explosion.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's very hard to tell, but obviously with your level of expertise, for you, it's like, hey, that sticks out like a sore thumb.
it's Patrick.
Well, that's good. It means that it wasn't our fault. I feel less guilty now.
Is
I
it
didn't
like
drive
the-
that thing here.
Can I get some idea of which end exploded first? You can't see it because I'm it's outside of camera here, but I'm waving my hands around. Just trying to indicate. I'm doing this.
Okay.
You just couldn't see it. Sorry, I felt stupid doing it once I realized.
By the blast pattern,
Yeah,
you
like
can guess. You can guess that the explosion could have started here.
it started at the front and then went back.
Yes. However, due to the magnitude of the explosion, you're not completely sure. It's conjecture.
Okay.
More speculation.
Could have been dynamite all throughout the train, and the car obscured the sign of Vinny in the back.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, you do see obvious evidence that there was dynamite here, but you also in your mind you're like, well, it could have been pretty obvious it's the dynamite, but the blast pattern, it could also be when the train came to a halt, the whatever could have sloshed around, a lot of different things could happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the dynamite is kind of glaring evidence.
Somebody wasn't enthusiastic about you guys making it to this train station. It seems like
starting to get that impression.
On the train,
Yeah.
I think there's a whole lot of somebody that wasn't really trying to let us get here.
At least Mr. Marcy's here. He can shoot things.
I'm sure he will if he gets a chance.
You'll just have to point out what you want him to shoot.
We just tell him
shoot that way over there.
We'll kill anyone who we say blew up his car.
He probably would, actually. Yeah, that dude blew up your car. Where?
Just walks up to you all. Says, well, it looks like we're going to be spending the rest of the day here in Charleston.
And it looks like we may be observed and not welcome.
Yes.
Oh, Charleston is a big town.
I have taken the liberty of arranging lodgings for us all at a hotel near here. And when my friend arrives in the morning, we can leave for the plantation.
I'm a little nervous since it sounds like there's at least 5 or 6 people already who have been out to get us. This sounds like it's a pretty well-organized, good-sized cult that your brother is helming.
Well, it is unfortunate. Things are kind of different down here, and I am indeed embarrassed for the actions of my relative.
I have a couple of questions real quick. Mr. Kavanaugh, well, I guess first thing in Charleston, I assume there would be the equivalent of a Pinkerton's agency or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Did wire the Pinkertons.
Did you? I was thinking maybe we could hire a couple of bodyguards to go with us whenever we go to check this farm out, so we have some extra muscle aside from thug life. And also,
which one of us are you calling thug life?
What's his name? The gangster, the actual gangster.
Mr. Mark.
We're both technically thugs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You don't know what I do. That's all.
No, so I wasn't putting you in a box, but that guy.
Just call me off guard. It's like, which one of us you calling thugs? Because I'm pretty sure just for me carrying a gun and being who I am, you probably think he's up to something shady.
I don't
Someone's
know.
got a conscience.
That guy's in a pinstripe suit. Looks kind of weird. I'm thinking it's him.
Hey, you probably just happy I got a gun at this point.
Very. Anybody aside from me. But I thought maybe we could hire a guard or two to go with us.
I'm all for guards. I like sleep, and I don't want to be the one staying up all night.
And also, is there a hospital here where I could get patched up a little bit?
Right back to the hospital with you.
Before we head out.
Yes, there is a
hospital. I'll
hospital.
shut up for a while.
They're going to set him up with a frequent visitor card.
I know. 10 more, or 8 more punches, and I'll get a free broken leg set.
I know, right?
You get a free pint of blood with this next transfusion, sir.
There you go. Hey.
So are you?
I did say I wanted to send a telegram to the Pinkertons in the last time.
Right. They're supposed to meet us at the train.
That's right, you did.
The Pinkertons, you look around and you happen to catch the trademark Pinkerton uniform being the kind of the G-man look for the day. Kind of gray suits, hats. And you see a couple of them walking through the debris, looking around. What do you do?
Gentlemen,
They look up and they walk over to you. Can we help you, sir?
Donald Kavanaugh.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We received your telegram. How may we help you?
Well, there's some evidence that people may be making attempts on my life, and I am hoping to hire your agency to investigate and, if possible, help protect my person. That vehicle that exploded belonged to one of my employees, and we were attacked.
That was a vehicle explosion, sir, and he pulls out a notepad, flips open the cover, and begins taking notes.
There was a vehicle on that flat car, yes. And I was asleep, and so I'm not clear on the details, but as far as I can tell, someone broke into my state car, attacked my employees, and left a corpse behind.
A corpse?
Yes.
Clearly trying to send some sort of message.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's all Russ gonna say about it. Mm-hmm.
That's our
He had a
story,
bad enough night with that.
and we're sticking to it.
Do you have any idea of who might want to do something like this to you, sir?
Well, ever since we became involved with Professor Gist over there, and agreed to accompany him to his home, we have been in peril. Even the night that we were at his house, we were attacked by gunmen from the outside. So,
Really?
yes.
Did you file a report? Did you file a report with the local police?
Did we? I don't remember.
I think we did. I think you did. I don't think I said anything to the police, but I'm pretty sure you did.
The police, if the
The police
were
did
there,
show
we
up
did.
and question
Yeah.
everyone and make a report. Because they were the ones who drove us home, weren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Some of them, yeah.
And where did this occur, Mr. Kavanaugh?
Arkham, Massachusetts.
Oh, in Massachusetts. All right.
I imagine both of them rolling their eyes like, oh, another Arkham dude. We got another one.
The other Pinkerton, the one not taking notes, you notice he kind of walked over to look at the wreckage, and he walks back, kind of whispers in his partner's ear for a minute. The other one looks at him, looks back at you, and says, "That was a vehicle explosion?"
There was an explosion, and there was a vehicle on that flat car.
Wow.
I don't know
What
what
caused
exploded.
It must have been some high-test fuel.
I'll
I
explain
laugh
my
when he says that.
discoveries to them, if it helps.
Well, the car was the personal property of one of my employees. I had agreed as part of our contract to bring it here with us.
I see. And he takes some more notes. Well, we will be happy to provide personal protection for you and your employees. I will have to file reports with the agency so they can properly assign people. I'm just a field representative. I'm not a personal protection agent. Will you be in Charleston for long, sir?
We are scheduled to leave for the Gist plantation in the morning?
We can have we can have a guard on your building or wherever you're staying by late this afternoon. Will that be satisfactory?
Absolutely. Would you like to, well, allow my employees to introduce themselves? This man in chalk is Mr. Marsh, my personal bodyguard. It was his vehicle that exploded. Juan is my chauffeur, and the others, I'll let them do their thing.
Mr. Arthur Morgan, associate to Mr. Kavanaugh.
Otis. And I just shake their hands. I'm not talking too much.
They shake your hands. The note taker introduced himself as Agent Smith, and his partner is Agent Jones.
Smith. I'm not sleeping tonight. Just
we were hoping for Agent Smith and Wesson.
No.
That would have made me sleep.
We think you have a reputation to uphold.
Fortunately, none of us are Mr. Anderson, so we should be fine.
Yeah.
We can escort you to your hotel if you wish, but at that point we'll have to leave your company and to arrange for a more permanent guard detail.
Certainly, I appreciate it.
And they say, and where are you staying?
Mr. Gist has set up rooms at the hotel over there.
Over yonder.
The Flamingo.
Yes.
Flamingo.
The Charleston Flamingo.
Yes.
Classy.
They nod and they wait for you to be ready to depart. Still kind of looking at the wreckage and shaking their heads. And car?
It looked like a car.
It doesn't anymore.
I wouldn't have called it a car to begin with, but that's because I had a good idea what was in it.
Car.
Still on wheels.
It's like, yeah, it had some real high test fuel in that one. Finest in the area.
Professor just turns to all of you and says, are we all ready to go?
Got my bag.
Absolutely.
Yep, I got my belongings. I'm good to go.
So he leads the way. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just saying, I know his player's not here, but I keep wondering if Mr. Mars is related to the Innsmouth Marses.
I always did myself, too.
I imagine him as looking like Steve Buscemi, so yes.
Well, I mean, he is kind of having that kind of slack-jawed, glassy-eyed look right now. So
his eyes are bulging just
very bonded.
He did turn a little gray. Now, whether that's a shock and fear for his own life, we don't know.
We will carefully
we
lead
will
him away
replace
from the
your vehicle.
scene.
I don't think the vehicle's what's bothering him.
So just leads the way out of the station and across the road.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
More cars still up. More cops.
The paddy wagons and fire department are on scene. A few more vehicles are arriving. The chaos is slowly being brought under control, and just leads you to the Charleston Flamingo, and you check into your rooms, and you have the whole day ahead of you. What would you like to do?
Fortify the hotel rooms.
Yeah, that's the first thing I'm gonna do is see how who's close, what rooms everybody's in, how close they are to each other, and then I'm going to sleep for a while.
Yeah, if we can get like a suite together or something like
The
that.
rooms are adjacent to each other.
What's that?
I said the rooms are adjacent to each other. They're on the same floor.
Do they have like adjoining doors?
No, they're all private rooms.
Okay.
So, I was thinking to escorting the doctor to the hospital to so I can see to his bill, and
Okay.
We probably don't want to split up too much. If I guess Roscoe and I will stay here and unpack, and we'll kind of rest and shift just to make sure that things are quiet here.
Yeah, I just want to be ready for the nighttime.
Okay.
we can have the doorman call us a cab or carriage or whatever.
You're a cab, sir.
No tip for you.
Just kind of shakes his head and once the Gist kept carriages in Charleston's to drive guests out to the plantation, but no more.
The good times are gone.
Mine, ready.
I'm sure things will turn around for you. They always seem to.
I hope so, Mr. Cavanaugh. I truly hope so. So
It's in our breeding and in our blood.
Indeed. Indeed, yeah. It's too bad this country has no more respect for the affluent and the nobility, so to speak.
It's why my family has set most of their money now in Hong Kong.
That's a wise move. Indeed, that's a wise move. If I was not an academic and I had seen fit to enter into business, I most likely would have made a similar move.
Translation, if I was not flat broke, I would have done the same thing. But that doesn't sound quite as elegant.
Which end of the 1920s are we in? Because the beginning of the 1920s was great for rich people. The end of the 1920s, not so great.
No, that's just the fact he's
Word
an
on
academic.
Fewer of them, yeah.
It's him being an academic, really. It's like, yeah, he has no money. He's an academic.
Like,
That's why he was living in the middle of nowhere.
got it.
At least that's why we think he was living in the middle of nowhere. I don't trust anybody right now.
Mr. Cavanaugh, you and Juan take Dr. Thompson to the hospital. It's maybe about a half mile up the road. Just goes with you to show you the way. Along the way, Dr. Thompson and Mr. Cavanaugh, please make an idea roll.
Okay.
There's
No. I've got not a clue.
Your wounds are paining you far too much.
I'm just in way too much pain. Can't focus.
In fact, you had such a bad idea that you actually stuck your finger in your old bullet wound.
I wonder if that's going to hurt.
Yep, it hurts. It hurts.
That feels all the way up.
Should have at least scabbed over by now.
Mr. Cavanaugh, did you make your roll?
Yes, sir.
It occurs to you that maybe once Dr. Thompson's all taken care of, that asking questions around the locals, maybe finding a newspaper or a police station or something, and digging around might reveal something more about the goings-on at the in this part of the country, specifically the ones that you all are involved in.
That is a good idea. We can grab a newspaper while the doctor is being doctored.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
So. Two locals already ran fleeing from my formidable visage, so...
The mask fell off.
It could have in the explosion.
3 women and 2 children fainted. And no one knew
Kid
why.
started crying.
One of those women has nightmares for years and cannot, for the life of her, remember why.
There's bonnie to that.
I know one of those people I posted last time, the one that I actually liked the most after his accident became a worked in a freak show, and that was his whole thing. Is people would come in and he'd take off his mask and let him look at his face, and then
Yipe.
What a way to
It's
make
a
a
living.
living.
It's a living.
yep,
Essentially, he was a model
Yep.
on the other end of the spectrum.
All right, so you reach the hospital, and they're quite busy with the people who were also hit in the explosion. But they managed to get you, Dr. Thompson, and pull the rest of the shrapnel out that the others missed. And after about 5 hours, you're released. And you may return your hit points to normal.
Some good doctors.
Really? I'm not going to complain, but that's an awesome hospital. That's awesome.
Do not give hit points in the mouth.
No.
In other words, he's planning to kill us tonight.
They're very liberal with their ether.
Take a hit of this, you'll be fine.
So you feel like you're fully healed.
You emerged dazed, slightly greasy, yet completely healed.
With a sudden fear of bats.
Yeah.
Make a sand roll.
Inexplicable.
We need to keep moving. It's bat country.
So, how are the race scores? No, how are things? What does the paper have to say while we're sitting and waiting for?
Nothing much in this particular day's paper. Just normal happenings around town. No really unreported crimes. They're talking about a mayoral election coming up in November. That's about it. Harvest wasn't that good this year.
That's unfortunate.
One thing that does catch your eye, they talk about the disappearance of some farmer's prized cow in something that is referred to as a hellhole.
Hellhole.
And that catches your attention because obviously hellholes are not often discussed in such detail in most papers.
Right.
But evidently, from the paper says, from eyewitness accounts, the cow literally was swallowed up into the ground.
And these eyewitnesses would be.
Nobody named. It just says eyewitness accounts. It's kind of
This is
tucked
an arc,
away.
and I'm pretty sure it's a whole lot of people going, yeah, right. Here.
It's kind of tucked away on page 5, a little corner.
There would be a byline, so the person that wrote it their name would be attached.
A Gabriel Swenson was the reporter.
Okay. Shall we off to the How did you sleep last night, Doctor?
Me?
Yes. Everybody else is resting at the hotel because they were up all night with.
Thanks.
Mr. Morgan, are you also resting, or are you
No,
doing
I'm
stuff?
keeping watch.
Okay.
That's not fine. I was in the hospital.
And on a train. I mean,
Had the best sleep of his life at this
That
point.
train ride, it was a little cramped, but it was great. It was so peaceful writing down. I just read the paper, a few, journals, chemistry journals. No Walking Dead. It was, it was awesome.
Did we mention Walking Dead to him?
No.
You just mentioned a corpse.
It's a random statement. No Walking Dead. Funny you should mention that. You know what happened? That was his most walking corpse. At least that's what what our two friends said,
We were in first class, so all the amenities are included.
Yeah.
including Dick.
Zombies.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's all part of the service.
He was
Hey,
mostly fresh.
That cow that was swallowed
That
up.
was the waiter.
I have a cow being swallowed up question.
Do you
Yes.
know something about geology?
A little bit, yeah.
So, does that kind of thing happen?
Well, there's sinkholes and stuff. I mean, obviously. That was I assume on a farm. It wasn't here in town. Like in somebody's backyard.
That'd be
That'd be weird.
way more believable to me that it was a hellmouth thing.
I don't know. Would it be weirder having a cow in your backyard or it being swallowed up? But anyway. So
Well, it is North
where's
Carolina.
that farm at? Is that anywhere around where the Gist plantation is? Is it just adjacent?
You would have to go to either the newspaper or the police or see some place that would have records of that kind.
Oh,
But
they didn't have
obviously you're not from here.
We will
They didn't have
talk
a
to this Gabriel
thing.
Swenson.
Okay. Good plan.
All
We got to
right.
find out about that cow.
No.
The name of the paper is the Charleston News and Courier. And a few inquiries around town eventually lead you to the paper. It is a 3-story affair. And, you know, it seems fairly busy. You know, there's people moving in and out of the building, especially now considering the explosion at the train.
That might make news.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, it happens every Tuesday.
Ah.
Another one? Ah.
Right on time.
All right, you walk in, and the newsroom is busy. And what do you do?
Young
There are people
lady.
only- I'm sorry?
I said young lady.
And a bedraggled secretary at the desk kind of looks up warily. Can I help you, sir?
Where might I find Gabriel Swenson?
Swenson, he's out on assignment.
Where would that be?
Let me see. I believe he went to the train station. Horrible explosion. You know, that's going on in the evening edition. Some sort of bomb or something on the train. We don't get those kind of things here in Charleston at all.
That's what
Anarchists.
the doctor here was a witness. We were told to come here and talk.
Really?
Oh, the whole thing. I have some theories. I'm a chemist. Trust me.
So you're a chemist.
I know science.
He also experienced the explosion.
See, bandages.
First hand.
Oh well, in that case, let me find an editor for you. Just hold on right there. And she gets up and kind of bustles through the newsroom, runs into an office. You hear some louder yelling coming out of the office, and then a older gentleman comes walking out, cigar stuck between his teeth.
Is it J. Jonah Jameson?
I was just thinking.
I know this is where we're going.
That was
walks
my
up.
fault.
Get Parker out here. Parker.
You got 30 seconds.
To do what? I'm not a reporter.
Well,
I don't work for you. What are you
the
talking about?
lady said you were some kind of expert here.
Oh yeah, I'm a chemist.
So what did your chemistry tell you about the train?
Well, there was an explosion somewhere in the midsection of the
chest.
train,
The shrapnel in my chest tells me.
but there was dynamite involved. I suspect some sort of probably gangster-related activity.
And he turns to the reporter. Why didn't you figure that out? Why didn't you figure that out? Put that in. Stop the presses. Put that in.
Excuse me, that was one of my.
Charleston.
But sir, the presses aren't running yet. Start them and stop
Start the
them,
presses.
Just start them and then stop them again.
Well, it is 5 hours later, so it's starting to get into the afternoon. Therefore, they're probably starting to print off the evening edition.
I just think it'd be funny if somebody yelled at, "Sir, we don't have the presses running yet."
Good. Change
You're
the bottle.
But I'm a volunteer. You're hired. Now you're fired.
I'm just an intern.
Why do you think it was gangsters? I thought it was an
Yeah.
assassination attempt on me.
Oh, okay.
You're
Then
gonna give
yes.
that bit of juicy information.
Assassinate? Who are you that people would be trying to assassinate you?
My name is Donald Kavanaugh. I am a person of note from San Francisco here visiting.
Person worthy of killing.
My family has a great deal of holdings in the Far East, and we, over generations, built a small empire through import and export to the Far East.
Are you getting this? Are you getting this? Gangsters and assassins from the Far East in Charleston. We're going to make a bid on this one.
The flat car where the explosion occurred was one that was rented by me to haul possessions that belonged to my employees.
All right. Sessions and boys. Between you and me, were they bootleggers or something? One of your employees,
I was
was there
immediately
something
get
on there?
this chill and start shivering in the hotel. Wow, I just feel like somebody said something they shouldn't have.
All right. Gangsters,
I
assassins, and bootleggers.
don't know anything about bootleggers, but
All right.
Too late now. Too late now.
We'll add it in later.
We'll use that for filler.
We'll put it in parentheses. No one will pay attention.
All right, so
Benjamin Franklin here says there were no bootleggers.
Oh, you just made sure it was in the paper now.
Who? Ben Franklin, never heard of him. Never heard of him. All right, so gangsters and assassins. So, Doctor, what was your name again? It doesn't matter. What makes you think that there was dynamite used? From what I heard, that the wreckage was, so complete there was nothing recognizable.
Judging by blast patterns and looking at how the chemical composition of the smoke in one area versus the chemical composition of the smoke in the other, and blah blah chemistry, sciencey
Chemistry, science, yeah,
Equation.
And,
Pocket chart.
right. That's good. That's all I need. That's all I need. Thank you very much. And he storms off, starts yelling at people left and right. Chemistry. Remember, write this down.
Start the presses.
Chemical compositions.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Where's
Both of you
Parker?
make another idea roll.
Who? Everybody?
Kavanaugh and Thompson, please.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
That might work. Yes.
I'm still dazzled by the man's display.
You're thinking monkey with an organ grinder.
What about the cow?
Yeah. Why are you investigating the cow? Enough of the explosion.
Cows. We have cows. Yeah, lots of cows. Cows in the pasture. Cows in the country. Dr. Thompson, it occurs to you that there might be some other stories in some past issues of the paper.
Oh, yeah. Huh. If only I had a skill that... Oh, I do. I'm going to fire up my library use if you let me hit the archives real quick.
The secretary walks up, returns, looking more bedraggled and flustered.
In
Is there
exchange
anything
for our
else I
help,
can help with, gentlemen?
in exchange for our help, the editor said that we could look at the archives.
Oh, yeah, yes, right this way, right through that door, down the stairs, and you'll find everything you need down there.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to specifically be flipping around looking for anomalous things, much like the cow vanishing.
Okay.
Words.
Just weirdness.
Sure.
Make a library use roll, please. Both of you gentlemen.
I knew you'd say that. Oh, yeah.
Not
All
in
right.
your life.
There's no bullets or explosions down here. I'm good.
I pay people to do research. I don't do research on my own.
See if you can show Mr. Kavanaugh where the library is.
Well, my math shifted.
No, it's over here. Over here. That's the bathroom.
Juan takes you to a nice chair in the corner.
Yes.
Hey,
I ask people questions. They go and do the research and come back and tell me. That's how it works.
There you go.
Can I get you a drink while you're waiting, sir? Dr. Thompson, you find a story dated from July 6th, 1825.
Ooh, oh boy.
The headline reads, Voodoo Rituals
back.
Uncovered. A raid led by Captain Pearson of the Charleston Town Constabulary disrupted a voodoo ritual being held in the swamps to the south of Waldoboro on property owned by the Gist family. Interrupted was a slave ceremony involving non-Christian practices of worship. All participants in the primitive ceremony escaped into the swamp. Several of Captain Pearson's men were wounded in the assaults. The raiders discovered odd paraphernalia, including swords, flags inscribed with indecipherable runes, and human skulls.
Huh. That's spooky. And that was on the Just Estates, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So they've got a history of funkiness.
There was this.
I'm going to keep looking if we've got the time.
Absolutely. You may make another library use roll.
Sweet.
Is Mr. Gist with us?
Oh, not that
Or
time.
did the professor go off on his own?
He chose to stay at the hotel. He felt rather put out by the night's events.
yeah, I figured him and
Okay.
Joe were with us.
There was some. There's
Yeah, I
something
blew it that time.
fishy about Mr. Gist, I believe, Doctor.
I agree. I think that whole family's got something strange. I think the professor may have fled Professor Albert fled to escape whatever his family's doings are, but I think Caleb is still part of the old good-timey religion.
I remember that the child seemed to be wary of the professor as well, even though he came to him for help.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that makes me wonder if there isn't something deeper going on.
Yeah,
Or just something he's not telling us.
I'm sure there's...
Maybe he had to go north because he was taking advantage of his employees' children.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that happened. We're going to need to keep an eye on him. And I tried to give the child and him separate rooms on the train. But
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think just the professor just is on the level, and we definitely know that brother Caleb isn't. so if we do go out there, we really need to be on guard. Especially if we're walking into some weird religious stuff.
Well, this Swenson may be upset with us now since we scooped him. Didn't mean to, but...
Did you make the second library use roll, Dr. Thompson?
No, I blew it.
Oh, you blew it? Okay.
Yeah. Can't win them all. The only place I'd like to stop by, if you don't mind, Kavanaugh's the police station before we head back to the hotel.
Oh,
Okay.
certain. Local constabulary.
You leave the newspaper, and again, just by asking around, you're able to find the police station fairly easily. As you walk in, both of you make a spot hidden roll, please.
The police are hiding under their desks.
Where are the police? I don't even see them.
Your reputation precedes you, I guess.
Made it.
Absolutely not.
Dr. Thompson, as you walk in, Mr. Kavanaugh and Juan are sashaying right into the police station, but you happen to notice on a bulletin board a newspaper clipping dated from about 2 months before, so August. The headline reads, "Detective Murdered. The mutilated body of missing Charleston police detective Jasper Galloway was discovered early yesterday morning by a local fisherman. The body was found under a tangle of cypress roots in the Edisto River, just south of the estate of Mr. Caleb Gist. Officer Galloway had been looking into rumors about a Satanist church operating in Charleston. He had been missing for several days. An inquiry by Colton County Sheriff Virgil Trucks included a search of the Gist land, but no evidence regarding the detective's death was discovered. Sheriff Trucks has stated that he believes the detective must have been murdered in Charleston and the body later dumped in the river. Officer Galloway was unmarried and is survived by his father and mother."
Now, why was Galloway investigating on the Gists? Did it say? I'm sorry. I was trying to write stuff down as you were talking. I may have missed that.
Oh, okay.
Something about a satanic church.
Satanic church on the Gist property, right?
The significance of the Gist property was that the body was discovered in the river that's just south of the estate.
But it doesn't say who that body was?
That was the body of the detective.
Oh, that was okay. But why, I guess I'm asking, the detective was going to the Gist estate to look into some sort of satanic church thing that was going on there, right?
Actually, he was investigating the rumors of the satanic church in Charleston itself, not at the Gist
Just in
estate.
Charleston in general, okay.
But his body was discovered in the Edisto River, which was just south of the Gist estate.
Okay, well, all right. I guess we should probably talk to the sheriff. Kavanaugh, what do you think?
Well, that's why we're here.
Um,
Or whoever is here.
and then maybe try to find out where Galloway lives and then round up everybody and maybe go by his home and see if we can find if he's got any information about the satanic cult business before we go out and put
Is
ourselves in the hands.
I thought Galloway died.
Yeah, but he's got to have a home. He had to live somewhere here in Charleston.
Well, his parents were still around. That's what it said.
Yeah, I don't know if he lived with his parents, but
When you're dead, you don't live anywhere.
yeah, but you know what I mean. So if he did live here just by himself, we could maybe go by his apartment or whatever. Or if it's with his parents, we can cruise by there and talk to them.
If the local constabulary are not forthcoming with information regarding this.
Right. Well, I was kind of thinking either way, because I don't think they're going to say, go ahead and ransack his home. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Well, there are ways to get around.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why I'm saying we could go and round up people that are a little bit more adept at not being shot and possibly getting into places where they're not supposed to be.
That's the kid. He doesn't want to be shot anymore. That's really what this comes down to.
I'm really tired of that.
I don't want to be shot anymore either.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of the things I'm good at, but I think I'm about at the end of that road. Maybe turn it over to people that have other skill sets.
Okay.
So, talk to the sheriff and then,
Kavanaugh.
So who's...
Walk up to the front. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Walk up to the front.
You walk up to the front desk of the police station, and the clerk there, almost as busy as the newspaper station, obviously with the fallout of the explosion of the train. Most of the police are at their desks filling out reports. There are uniforms moving in and out. And there is a desk sergeant writing in a ledger at his desk, at the front desk.
Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon. Can I help you?
Yes, my name is Donald Kavanaugh. We are... Well, we want information.
Information.
The way he said it. That's the best.
We come in peace.
There goes to your leader.
The new number 2. Who is number 1? You are number 6.
That's it.
What kind of information are you looking for, Mr. Kavanaugh?
Well, we were curious, first of all, about these talks of a cow falling into the ground. If that happened around the Gist estate. And
Oh, yeah. Well, them Gists, they're funny folk. The area around that plantation is just bad juju.
Well,
So
we're going to be heading out there in the morning.
y'all are heading out there.
Myself and my employees, we're in the company of Professor Gist from Arkham, who's...
What's that, Albert? Albert Gist?
yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, well, see, he hasn't been down here in a long time. Caleb is the Gist that we know about, and that fella is he's touched, that fella.
He's come down. He's heard about what Caleb's been doing and has come down with our assistance, take his rightful place as the head of the plantation and make Caleb stop all his nonsense.
Well, I don't know about Mr. Caleb being in the source of this nonsense. All I know is that around that plantation, just people tend to disappear. And that cow you was talking about, that was one of them hellholes.
One of? So there's many?
Oh, that's commonplace around here. You know, between the snakes, the gators, and the quicksand, I'm surprised we don't lose more people around here.
What exactly is this hellhole? It's the police station. No.
Well, you ever seen them big white balls that... No, they're just... people, they open up, these holes in the ground open up, and people disappear down them, screaming animals disappear down them. Nothing we can really do about them. We try to investigate, but there ain't nothing left once they go down the hellhole.
Was there any like mining or anything going on around there before?
Not that we're aware of.
You
So
can't
you're
really mine in
saying
a swamp.
That's what I'm saying. So you're, well, sort of. I mean, they mine in Louisiana. There's a salt mine.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's what. Right.
Keep in mind that he just said that there's nothing left, as in the hole's gone too.
There's
Yeah,
just
so
a hole
Mhm.
right?
it's kind of like an ant
Huh.
lion or something. I mean, where it just sucks somebody down and then the ground
I imagine the
evens
officer looking
back
at you like,
up.
"What's an ant lion?"
I don't know nothing about no ant lion.
Well, you know what? You guys know what I'm talking about. That
I
bug
know what you're
that
talking
creates
about.
a little funnel.
He
Yeah,
kind of
So it's
looks
I
like
know
at
what
you
you're
like,
talking
okay, if you say so, sir.
That sounds
It-
I know
preposterous.
you
It is
Northerners
clearly a
get some
hellhole.
funny ideas, but
It's no giant
You know, a
insect.
hellhole. Everybody knows.
I just imagine the cops like, "Yeah, you academic type." Right.
So
So
but the ground smooths over like something.
yeah, it's like there was nothing ever there.
Can I like make a geology roll or anything to see if that sounds
Absolutely.
like anything in the rational world that I've heard of?
I ain't no geologist and I ain't even there, and I know that don't sound right.
I need it. I mean, for what it's worth.
Did you make it?
Yeah.
You have never heard of anything like this in your life. You think that these locals must be hiding something because there is no rational explanation for the earth opening up, swallowing something down, and then closing up without a trace.
It
It
is weird.
did happen in the Bible.
Well, so this, if you do, you'll excuse my my abruptness. This is Charleston, South Carolina. This is not the Holy Land.
No pun intended.
Right.
But
I mean, it gets quite unholy here, actually.
God is everywhere.
how long has this whole thing been going on?
This has been fairly regular for many, many years.
And you guys haven't thought to contact the scientific community to come down and study it and just shrug your
Well,
shoulders?
you
Well,
know,
that's just
so we
that's
like to
just how
take
it
care of our
goes.
own business down here.
People get sucked into the earth. Oh well.
Well,
That's
you
a
know,
really
if it's not the
odd way to
hellholes,
watch
it's
it.
the gators. If it's not the gators, it's the quicksand. Just
Wow.
off of the coast down in here.
This is an awful, awful place.
Now I know why Professor just moved to Arkham, thinking it would be nicer.
Really.
Little did he know.
I don't
Stuck into the
know.
ground in Arkham.
What, Arkham? They just have ghouls? No hellholes? Oh, I'm going there.
Look,
Sounds
I
way
would
better.
suggest drinking the water.
How you guys doing? Doing all right?
Nobody's dead yet.
So far.
My wife is
Brian.
home, so I thought I would check on you guys.
We're doing fine.
All right, I'll check back with you in a little bit.
Okay.
Is the okay? I'm about yokeled out. Is the sheriff here?
Um, well, the sheriff is indisposed at the moment. I'm sure if you'd like to make an appointment, I'm sure he can see you tomorrow or the next day.
Could we shoot for tomorrow?
We're leaving in the morning for the Gist plantation.
Oh, that's right.
What was it you wished to see the sheriff about? Maybe we can postpone Mr. Gist.
I wanted to talk to him about this Jasper Galloway thing.
What about it?
Well, again, like I was talking about, I want to find out the dude's address or if he was living with his parents. Or...
You asked the desk sergeant this, or are you just talking amongst yourselves?
She was trying to sweet talk.
We are
Sergeant.
speaking openly in front of the desk sergeant.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that
One of
was
them
a
has no
terrible thing.
chance.
Terrible thing. Galloway, he was a good cop. He was a good cop. And his poor parents like to send them to their graves.
Was he living with his parents?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
he was a bachelor.
So he was living with his parents. Okay. What, are they in the good part of town? Could we stop by and give our condolences?
They're not taking visitors right now, so I'm sure after the funeral, they had just did not want to see anyone anymore. They were far too distraught over the loss of their son.
No, I bet.
Is the department taking up a collection for them that I could contribute to?
Of course, sir.
So, contribute.
It's $10,000.
No, they won't miss this 1,000.
So
Nobody will ever know.
that was $9,000 in the name of.
Those folks can live for a long time on that
You're most gracious, sir.
It's not in my. It's not in my name. It's, yeah, and it's not to be in my name. It's for the department's funds for what the department's giving them is retire.
Oh, so you are a good Samaritan.
And what can you tell us about these this satanic church? Is this related to the hoodoo that we heard about out at the plantation, or is it something else entirely?
Well, sir, I'm a good Christian man, and I do not truck with voodoo or satanic anything. But I can tell you that the beliefs of them sharecroppers is not holy. It's this Obeah thing that's been around here for ever. So we kind of just turn the other way when it comes by, but we don't mess with it neither. But yeah, that plantation has a reputation. I'll tell you that. More people and animals disappear around there than anywhere else.
Was that related to his investigation, or was?
That was an unrelated affair. That was there was believed that there was some kind of cult in the city of Charleston. The fact that Galloway's body appeared south of the plantation, nobody really was overly surprised. But as of yet, we have not been able to get any evidence linking Mr. Gist or any of his sharecroppers to Mr. Galloway's death.
And who's following up that investigation?
The department is. It's being kept quiet. You understand.
Oh, absolutely. Propriety.
Is there anything else I can help you with, sir?
Anything else, Doctor?
Well, I know the Galloways aren't taking visitors, but would it be out of line for us to drive by their home and just leave flowers?
I'm sure it wouldn't hurt. I don't know if they'll be answering the door to you, considering you're all not from around here.
I just really feel for his plight. There's something about that story has really touched me.
I'm sure you could arrange a delivery with a florist if you wish.
Okay. Can I get an address, please?
He scribbles it down, hands it to you.
Thank you. Well, we'll get out of here.
If you couldn't get it from him, you could have, fast talk, so we talked to tourists, and it's like, we're just going.
I got a fast talk of 5%. I'm not fast.
See, that's what you need me for.
I know. That's what I want to hand this.
But however, I was going nowhere near a police department, and I kind of had a feeling that's where it was going to end up.
Well, I want to get out of here too.
All right. Has been
I'm saying
quite
that as a
eventful
player,
day.
not in character. I think I've done all I can do here.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your generous donation.
And my retirement fund.
He says as he puts it in his pocket. Doesn't get safely to the rest of the men.
It doesn't take all of it, just 1,000.
Boys, look what I found here.
It's laying on the street. I don't even know where it came from.
Damn.
The good Lord has smiled upon me. Screw this job, I'm going home.
We're getting out of Charleston next
I'm retiring early.
summer. So you leave the police station, and where do you go?
Back to the hotel so other people can play.
Okay.
Translation, I've run out of talking points. Let's go back to the hotel.
Looking at the ground nervously the whole way there.
Wouldn't look at the ground. You need to look at the crowd around you.
Really?
Yeah. Who's yeah.
And we all did notice those people running.
Is there anybody taking notice of us while we're I mean, other than normal? Anybody taking notice and pretending not to take notice?
Make a spot hidden roll, please.
Ooh, good call.
Other than the line of people pointing, look at his mask.
Well, that's the thing. If we kind of stand out, I did make the spot hidden roll. So also, there's I don't know how many Chinese men there are in Charleston and
very few.
Not too many.
so,
In fact, I think Juan is the only one at this moment.
Juan is the only one.
One is the loneliest number.
An army of one.
There is a gentleman. There is a gentleman leaning up against one of the buildings. That looks kind of familiar. Looks like he's just kind of, looking at his nails, glancing up every now and then. Just like he's just taking a relaxing for a spell.
let's see what that. Okay. Make a note. Keep his visage in mind.
All right. So you return to the hotel, and it's getting to be around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And Otis, you have awakened.
That's another nap.
And Mr. Morgan, have you been awake this whole time?
Yep. If these guys are coming in at the same time, though, I'll stay awake to listen to what they've learned and make a decision from there.
All right. Do you, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Kavanaugh, inform the rest of the group what you've discovered?
Yeah. Hey, by the way, blop, info dump.
Whoa! So you guys are thinking that we should head out to
Somebody going to get that?
Oh, that was a sound effect? Oh, okay.
Do you look?
I'll
get my rifle.
just imagine you standing next to the bed with a rifle pointed at the door. And Otis is reaching for the door and looks back and
You
sees
can
it
open
and
it
just
now.
shakes his head. Because he had his hand on his pistol too. It's just like, man, this is just not right. Oh.
You grasp the knob.
Nobody
You
is
turn it.
paying me to open the door.
Maybe it's the Pinkertons.
It could be. We were expecting them.
Don't point guns at the Pinkertons.
They don't like that.
Usually I don't open the door. It's like, who is it?
This is Anderson of the Pinkerton Detective Service.
No, I'm just making sure.
Mr. Anderson.
Well, my name.
I had to.
Crack the door open and check who it is.
It's another nondescript man in a gray suit with a door.
Well, I'm fine with that.
They all look the same.
All right, I open the door and walk away.
Are you leaving the room, Otis?
Yeah.
Okay, so you will not be privy to them telling their story then?
No, I went back. I was in the room
Oh,
with
all right,
them.
all right.
I just let
That's
him
what I
in.
wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
You said you left the room. I didn't know if you...
No. I didn't leave the room. I just went to open the door.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Anderson, can we see some identification?
Oh, good question.
Reaches into his coat, hands you a card.
I'll show the others. Looks legit to me.
It's got the eye on it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's got to be legit. You can't fake that. All right, I'll give it back to him and point him to Mr. Kavanaugh. Say, this is your employer here. Basically, we just want to make sure that no one disturbs us in our rooms.
Absolutely.
And when we go to the plantation tomorrow.
And we'll be sure. I'm not saying this to him, but this is what is his thinking.
I have been assigned to remain at your side until for the duration of your stay.
Oh.
Do you have any next to kin we need to know about?
Sure, the Pinkertons will handle it.
Do you have a room, or do I need to get you one?
That won't be necessary, sir.
I don't sleep.
Another agent will be relieving me in the morning.
Very well.
Unless you have further need of me, I will take up my post outside the door, so as not to disturb you. And he nods at you all and walks out of the room, closes the door.
I will relax that much.
I'm fully rested. I can stay as tense as I want for a little while. This is my nervous nap.
So it sounds like we wanted to... Do we know if Detective Galloway had a partner that we could talk to?
He just said that the department in general was now handling the case instead of, and there wasn't anybody specifically assigned to it anymore.
If this guy was a beat cop, he probably didn't have a partner.
He was a detective.
He was
a detective. He would have one. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was, but I thought that was a little strange that they suddenly, they're still investigating, but they're keeping it hush hush. And
I kind of got the feeling this dude was kind of going rogue on this and was investigating it alone.
It's odd that I wonder what they were taking as evidence of a satanic cult in Charleston when they clearly have no desire to investigate this well-known voodoo cult just outside of Charleston.
Yeah, that's been around since
with long hair.
1825.
So I'm wondering if we can. I don't know if we can do some more digging at the.
Hey, I hate to tell you all this, but outside of academics, most people don't make distinctions between a voodoo cult and a satanic cult.
Yeah, that's why I was asking if they were
the fact that the police department is doing that is interesting. Unless it's just when white people do it, it's a satanic cult. When black people do it, it's a voodoo cult.
Hey, that's how it is some places.
City cult versus country cult. I don't know.
It's my bayou cult over here, and it's my city folk
That's
over
okay.
here.
As long as you don't do it in the city.
We know what the bayou folk doing. Steve and B. We don't make eye contact with them. They leave us alone.
That's why I was kind of wanting somebody to break into the Galloways and look into Detective Jasper's room, if they could, and see if he's got any of the things he was looking at.
We might even be able to go to his. Well, they might be spooked. I'm trying to think if we could go to his folks and say, we're investigating them. What killed your son? Would you mind talking to us?
Yeah.
I mean, we can still try. They never said, like he said that he wouldn't take visitors. That don't mean they won't.
Yeah.
And the proper smile and the correct words can sometimes get people to loosen up.
Well, I was just put us on their side.
From his response in general, I was thinking, okay, if this is going on, it may be people that have significant influence in the city that are involved in this, and if that's the case,
they're hushing it up.
Yeah, they might just be saying, nobody talks, and everybody's gonna keep getting paid and breathing.
You know, we could be protection as well. It's just bad enough that this farmhouse has all this weird stuff happening around it.
Yeah, if it's some sort of citywide cult. If this is like a Wicker Man situation, you know I'm going to be the one that gets burned alive.
You're gonna be one wearing a hat made of bees.
Let us just say you're very lucky that Roscoe is still here right now. If it was not for the boy Joe, Roscoe might have jumped off the train.
I mean, it is interesting that this appears to go back about 100 years.
1825.
These hellholes have been going on long enough that it's become like a bad weather.
They're just blasé about people being sucked into the ground. That's the thing that just I find.
Well, I mean, what can you do about that? I mean, I understand how you might want to call in some scientists on that as an academic, but if there's no evidence of it happening, what they gonna do? Just laugh at you, right?
Unless you can just say, well, Bob was here today, and now he isn't.
This is not the city.
Over there the day before, now he's gone.
This is the South.
Yesterday.
This is the South. They're gonna laugh at us regardless of what we say.
And it sounds like they're not opening up randomly in pastures. They're opening up under living things, and those living things are going away.
Yeah.
That makes it sound like not a sinkhole that's just happening randomly.
Tremors. It's totally Tremors.
Yeah, I was thinking Tremors. It's totally Tremors.
And I watched Absentia yesterday, so that's what's on my mind.
Oh, that's a good movie.
So.
So what
is there an overpass anywhere around here that you can drive?
There's a whole swamp.
And people will leave random things there because we really need to leave if that's the case.
When she was looking into the history, she said before there was a freeway there was a sinkhole there with a bridge over it.
I was saying, it's like, are there any overpasses around here?
Not yet.
Not as of yet, no. What are you all going to do? Are you going to try to visit the detective's parents?
What time is it now?
I would like more information on that, and I'm going to leave it up to my employees to get it.
You see, we have them. We can hunt down the reporter with the cow thing, because he might actually know something outside of the cow thing.
Right, and since we did scoop him, there's a chance that the doctor and I might get him angry.
Well, you gotta know that. You know, we could give him some stuff y'all didn't tell him that they don't necessarily know.
Well, but it sounds like these sinkholes happen with enough regularity that it sounds like he didn't. It seems unlikely that someone's looking into it more than something disappeared. Although I guess it's enough of a deal that it's making the news.
Page 5.
I mean, really, if you're worried about upsetting this guy, you don't have to be the ones to talk to him.
Right, I'm planning on relaxing for the evening.
I mean, worst comes to worst, we can just knock the mask off your face and make him pass out and bring him back here.
He's got a face like chloroform.
You like my plan, huh?
Terrifying.
Could you look this way for a second, sis? Alright, load him in the back of the car. We're going.
Alright, so what is the plan?
I'm down for whatever they want to do, because, I mean, we got to talk to somebody, because we got an idea, because the only place we can go outside of talking to them is the farm, and I'm not going anywhere near that farm tonight.
Yeah. Do the detectives' family live in town?
Yes, it is the Charleston address.
I did think of something. If we talk to the reporter would know the cops, because, you know, they know everybody in general. And they would know who his partner was, since you didn't ask. So if he has a partner, we could find that out through the reporter.
Worth a try. Well, do we? Sounds like Mr. Kavanaugh is bushed. Do we want to send out another group to go and see if we can track down Detective Galloway's people and possibly the reporter?
Yeah. Yeah, go for it.
Who's coming?
Roscoe,
I'll go.
you're in charge.
I'm in charge. This still amuses me that you keep putting the black man in charge of things. I understand you would, because I just imagine you as very eccentric. But the fact that everybody else just goes, yeah, Roscoe, you go do it. What? Roscoe is very confused.
Seems fairly confident.
All right, so Roscoe and Morgan are going. Are you staying, Thompson?
I can go with in a support role.
I mean,
If
we
you guys
have a
want.
guard now, so if anybody wants to stay and rest, they can
If
rest
you
with
guys
the guard.
want, otherwise I can stay back. I mean,
I think Mr. Marsh is still catatonic.
Yep, he took care of the rest of his reserves that he was able to salvage.
And
he's passed out snoring. Loudly.
Mr. Morgan probably needs a little bit of a rest, so unless you really, really want to go, you can stay and
No,
rest if you want to.
I mean, I did get some sleep last night, and I think with the guard out, we'll be able to get some sleep tonight.
And I mainly got that nap, so if worst comes to worst, I'm up all night and I'm good.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
with Pinkertons, I think we'll be able to sleep tonight.
Just in case, I don't trust anybody.
Fine with that.
They say they're Pinkertons, but for all we know, they could be with
But he's got
that
the
farm.
card. He's got the card.
He's got the card.
Hey,
yeah.
cult
Good
don't
job.
carry cards, all right? I know
Can't
preachers that have
possibly
been
be
involved in some stuff from where I'm from, so I don't trust anybody.
All right. We will, I guess, go and see if we can track down the newspaper reporter first. Do we think,
Swenson.
I guess we think it's been enough time that he may be back at the newspaper writing up his story that he's been researching all day.
Okay.
So we'll head back there.
Roscoe, Arthur, and are you staying or going, Dr. Thompson?
I'll go, but I'm gonna let these guys take the lead. I'm really.
You're spent. Is that
Okay.
it? I mean, if you don't want to go, you don't have to.
I'm not much of a leader, so I mean, I'll
I'm
tag
not
along.
either. I just kind of play it by ear. I'm usually the one that has to be the mouthpiece for you guys.
I'll go
about,
with. I've already been to the newspaper, so they've seen me before.
All right. If you
I
want
mean, I don't mind taking the lead on the newspaper just because, if you guys feel like he might not want to talk to you, he doesn't know me.
I'll
Okay.
give you the money that you need to get the job done, as well as some walking around money.
I'll give you the grease for the wheels.
And if you'd appreciate it, the doctor did tell the police that he wanted to leave flowers at the detective's parents' house. So if somebody could get some flowers and leave them
That's
there.
not a problem. That can be done.
Well,
Okay.
or if you guys decide to go over there and say we're looking into the
STD?
same thing that he was,
Right.
and also be carrying flowers.
Right.
Well, we don't have
It
to
wouldn't
be
hurt.
from here to be investigating. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm friends with whatever. Like, finding out his partner's name would be helpful if he had one.
You could pick some flowers and just pretend like you're delivering them or you've been paid to, and go and ask them to sign for them, and then you'll have a way in. And once you're in, getting you out, that might be a problem.
Mm.
All right.
We'll start with the
So
reporter.
you are heading to the
As long as the
newspaper
door has a
office.
handle, we can get
Yeah.
out.
All right. Roscoe, Arthur, and Dr. Thompson,
Be right back.
you leave the hotel, and you make your way to the newspaper office.
I will do a spot hidden while we're walking as well,
Okay.
just to see if anybody's like making any particular notes about us in that hotel. I got that dead on.
All right. You don't see anybody in the hotel.
Okay.
So you all make your way to the newspaper office. Sun's starting to set. It's not, it's just in the beginnings of it, so the sky's starting to get a little orange. The Dr. Thompson, the woman that was at the front desk when you went the first time, is standing at the door, and she seems to be locking up.
Oh. Hey, remember me? Hi.
Oh yes, sir. Yeah, you're the chemistry doctor.
Yes.
What can I do for you?
We
We're
were
wondering
curious
if Mr. Galloway showed up yet.
Galloway's the dead guy.
Oh, sorry. I bet he hasn't showed up.
She
You're
kind
thinking
of looks at you a little sideways.
You have to excuse my compatriots. We were all trained that had a little accident. They're a little shook up.
We're looking for
Well, I can
Swanson.
understand. Oh yes, Mr. Swenson. He's inside. I can let you all in.
Appreciate it, man.
We're going to
She
get a lot
opened
of
the
this
door back
counseling.
He's in there tapping, working on his story. So please, the editor has a very strict deadline on him. So please try not to take up too much of his time.
Oh, not a problem. In fact, we'll help him any way we can if necessary. Then, being witnesses, it might be able to be helpful to him to talk to us again.
All right. So she ushers you in and says, "Well, if you excuse me, my day is over. So
Of
please
course,
lock the
ma'am.
door on your way back out."
Yes, ma'am, and I hold the door open for her.
Well, thank you. And she walks out. They don't
That's
lock
how
the
you treat
doors
a
in the
lady.
South. Come on now.
That's how you treat a lady.
And you walk into the bullpen, and there is a gentleman in his 40s furiously beating away at a typewriter.
Mr. Swanson, if we could just have a few minutes of your time. We have a...
I'm really, really busy. Who are you?
we were arrived on the train today.
Oh, you were on the train. Oh, wow. You're lucky.
And we're looking into what we think may be behind all of this, these acts.
Oh, yeah. So what do you think it is? I've heard gangsters. I've heard assassins. I've even heard bootleggers. What do you think it is?
We think that it might be related to some of the anti-Christian activities that have been happening in this area lately.
Oh, so you believe that hoax about the satanic cult?
I mean, I wouldn't say we believe it, but it's very clear they believe it. And we've had some run-ins with people from there the whole way here, and it's been some rather hairy things. And honestly, if you were to help us out, and we could possibly give you some information, get you a really juicy story out of this.
Oh, well, the story I'm working on is pretty juicy.
But it could get juicier. We got missing people going on here, and it spreads between states.
Oh, all right. Well, you mean missing people beyond just the disappearances and stuff?
Well,
the death of Mr. Galloway, Detective Galloway.
That's old news. That's old news. They already found his body.
Yeah, but they didn't find who did it.
They're working on it. Police will be working on it.
Yeah, police are always working on things. You know,
a lot of questions. We're here to help you with answers.
Yeah, well, they took that story from me. I was all over that, and the editors took it away from me, and now I'm reporting on trains blowing up. Yep.
But I thought you said that was a hoax.
Yeah, it's got to be a hoax because nobody else has found anything about it. Never mind that I put a good month and a half into trying to ferret that out, but must be a hoax.
The cow disappearing is the hoax?
What's that?
What's the hoax? I missed something.
Oh, they say it's a kind of satanic cult. That kind of stuff doesn't happen in Charleston. That's out in the plantations. Well,
honestly, do you really think somebody involved with that kind of activity would be upfront about what they're doing?
Absolutely. I mean, it's got to be a hoax.
You said you.
Just some folks trying to get some other folks in trouble, and for whatever reason.
You said you did a month and a half of work on it. I'd be curious to see what you found.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't find too much, but I'll tell you one thing. I all leads back to that plantation.
Everything that's got us here leads us to that plantation too. I mean, getting shot at in Arkham.
There's some strange people.
I said getting shot at Arkham by some farmhands from here when we're visiting the professor. Jess.
Arkham?
Yes.
Up in Massachusetts?
Yes.
That's where the professor moved to.
Oh, so you know the older brother then?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an oddball himself too.
Well, there's just strange people. Strange people. They got a history.
Very clearly, but being shot at makes me a little more interested in their activities.
Yeah.
Sounds like they got a history that goes back over 100 years.
Oh, longer than that. Longer than that, my friend.
And they've always been known as that, being that weird since.
Well, there was rumors about things happening way back over on that plantation.
Humorous.
They got just family. You didn't hear this from me, mind you.
No. Anything you say to us and vice versa, I hope you understand, is anonymous.
No, they've been involved in that Obeah stuff for a long time. Not just the people working for them, but them themselves. I think like one of the uncles or the great uncle of Caleb and Albert there, yeah. He had a reputation for being an Obeah man himself.
We get the impression that
But that's just conjecture. I don't have any evidence of that. That's just, people talking.
We're just discussing theories right now. It's completely okay.
It's all off the record.
Actually, there's evidence of it going back to 1825. The police broke up a voodoo cult on the Just plantation back then.
Oh yeah, that's right. But again, I don't have that story anymore. It's not really my concern. That's just, as I said, it's just conjecture.
I will pull up some of the cash that Mr. Kavanaugh provided.
And before you give him the cash, what's the detective's name that was found dead?
Galloway.
Galloway. Did Galloway have a partner? They
don't have partners out here. There's nothing. What do you mean partners? That's all that craziness up north. That's not how they do it down here.
That's probably why he ended up where he is. Partners help.
They got that pride. They don't want nobody else sharing the glory. You know what I'm saying?
Well, pride before the fall, sir. As they say.
But they didn't find nothing about that cult here in Charleston. They didn't think they would. Especially since they took me off the story.
Oh, of course. I mean, crack reporter like you. I'm flattering him at this point. I'm not trying to be sound condescending.
Clearly, you're the only one in this town who really knows what's going on.
Well, absolutely, but again, I'm just the guy writing the story about a train.
And this is the point where I will wave a bit of a cash around and basically say, perhaps we could hire you on the side for your investigative knowledge.
Well, that pulls a paper out of the sheet, puts it on a stack of another. Well, what kind of reporting you're looking for here?
I'd like to know what you already know about what was going on here in Charleston. We've heard a lot about what's going on out in the swamp, but only vague mentions about something going on here in Charleston.
Well, there's not much going on here in Charleston. You see, looking into this cult, I hit a brick wall just about every time. I thought I was on a lead, but it just goes back to voodoo and Obeah and all this other stuff. Which is that's just par for the course up here. But as far as I got it into my head, there might be some kind of conspiracy with the people with the influence in this town. But I got stonewalled every time.
Sounds like you may have been right.
I think getting stonewalled is the perfect evidence you needed that higher ups are involved in this.
Well, I tried, and then I got taken off the assignment.
Well, what if I put you back on the assignment?
Well, I could
You
see.
think you can find anything?
I could see my way clear to, see what I can shake up.
I mean,
guarantee
our
if you-
employer is extremely interested in this matter, considering that we've been brought into it ourselves, and any bit of information you could possibly find would be helpful.
I guarantee if you find some solid information, we will make it worth your while.
Very, very generous man.
Well, I'll tell you what. Give me a couple of days, and I'll have something for you. But I'll tell you one thing. No matter what I'm going to find, I'm guaranteed that it'll lead back to that plantation.
No, I have no doubts in that, sir.
We're headed there already.
All right. Well, watch yourselves. It's a strange place.
You
A lot of
too.
people disappear around there.
If
You be careful
you know,
too.
They put it up to gators and snakes and quicksand, but strange things happen up there. Strange things.
other than
Another paper into the typewriter.
other than you and the late Detective Galloway, who else do you think knows anything in this town about the goings-on at that plantation?
Well, people around here kind of avoid it, but if you're heading out that way, you might talk to Sheriff Virgil Trucks. Yeah, Virgil Trucks. He's the sheriff out in where is he at? Walterboro or Walterboro.
That's further out where the plantation is?
Yeah, that's almost there. That's right, just outside their land. You'll go through it on your way out there. I don't know how you get in there, but yeah, you'll go through Walterboro. And I think there was something about that in then the news article about the detective.
And this sheriff, he's a straight shooter with no friend of the voodoo cults?
Well, you know how it is. They take a dim eye on that kind of activity.
Oh, yeah, I
Right,
understand how it is. Just
unless they
your
got,
personal feeling on it.
unless they got some kind of solid proof, they're not going to do anything.
It's just your personal feeling. You think he's somebody that would tell us, well, be straight with us.
Well, he might. He's not on the take or anything if that's what you're referring to. But
That's all I need to know then.
If
People
you're saying
around
that
here,
this cult may go all the way up, though.
people around here like to mind their own business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They
I'm
may.
not from here, but I understand how that is.
Everybody might know what everybody's business is, but they don't let on.
Don't talk.
They know
Yeah,
what everybody's business is. You know what I'm saying?
Know what you're saying.
All right. Well, give me a couple of days and I'll get back to you. For now, I got to get this in before deadline. So,
Of course. And if you have any questions about, the explosion,
We were there.
yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. If I got to do any follow up, I'll be sure to contact you. But like I said, if there's nothing else, I got to get this done.
We'll check back in with you.
All right. Have a good one. And he literally just shuts you off like a volume switch and just goes into his typing.
All right. Well, I didn't feel like there was much more here. And it doesn't
No.
sound like there's a partner. And we've got the address for the detective's place, so I guess that's our next stop, as long as it's not too dark out there.
Yeah, as long as it's not too dark, we just pick up some flowers from the side of the road or whatever we have to do. Make them look good.
You leave the newspaper shop and you manage to catch the florist right before they close up shop, and they,
Slap some flowers together for us.
throw some flowers together for you and shoo you out the door. The extra 50 you put in there helped a little bit. And you make your way out to the Galloway house. It's in town. It's just modest house for modest people. And there is a light on inside.
So we want to try the direct approach here?
You got the
What direct approach should we be thinking of?
Well, just concerned citizens who are looking into their son's death and can they please help us with our investigation? And that we've been hired by a private gentleman who is concerned with the goings-on and wants to make sure that his killers are brought to justice.
We can give it a go, because the other route that I had in mind had me lying my ass off, and I really don't feel like doing that tonight.
Well, it's that or we bust in the place, and I don't think we want to go that route.
No, I wasn't going to bust in. This is going to be the florist, new guy in town. You know, this is a crying shame what happened to your son, but no. Let's go with your route. Less of me lying and failing rolls.
All right, so
we'll go
who's
front
knocking
door.
on the door?
I'll knock.
You wait a minute. Here's some footsteps, and the door opens, and there's an elderly lady wearing black veil, the whole bit. Kind of looks up, and you see there's an elderly gentleman walking up behind her. Can I help you?
Mrs. Galloway?
Yes.
I remove my hat and hold out the flowers, ma'am. We are so sorry for your loss.
She kind of, I'm sorry.
We're sorry to intrude.
Beside herself for a minute, and she accepts the flowers. Thank you.
We don't mean to intrude, and I apologize if this is inconvenient for you. But and I admit we're not from around here, but we represent a gentleman who's...
She starts breaking down and kind of leans into her husband. Her husband kind
I
of
quickly pull out a
pushes
handkerchief.
her back into the house, and he turns back towards you.
We're very
You'll
sorry to
forgive me
interrupt.
if we're not up to entertaining company.
Oh, I completely understand, sir, but we would honestly like to be of service to you, because it doesn't seem like things are quite moving quickly enough for you. And our benefactor would love to be of any help he could be to you.
To see that your son receives justice.
Well,
He's a sentimental man that has lost his own family and really cannot stand seeing another family suffer.
you can tell your employer that I truly appreciate his concern. But our son died in the line of duty. He was a police officer. And his brothers on the force did not seem to think there was any kind of foul play.
And that is exactly why our benefactor is concerned, because sometimes you need a little bit of outside help to make sure justice is done.
Well, that's mighty kind of you, though it's not really how we do things down here.
Well, we understand, but we also have talked to the police, and we know that their resources are spread awfully thin, and they may not be able to give your son's sacrifice the attention that we feel it deserves. He gave so much, and for it to be a project worked on by a police officer with many other tasks at hand, we'd like to give it more attention and be able to make a proper investigation.
Make a persuasion or a fast talk, please.
Can I roll with
Preferably
him?
persuasion. That makes more sense.
Unfortunately, I don't actually have persuasion. I'm not one that
You have fast talk. I have persuasion.
I don't talk to people normally like this.
I did not make it.
Well, as I said, that's kind of you, but you'll forgive me. I must see to my wife. And he starts to close the door.
All we're interested in is information that your son may have gathered. We just need to look at his notes. We won't bother you any further.
If you want his notes, you should go to the police department.
He didn't have any sort of notes or journals here?
None that we saw. But please, excuse me. I must see to my wife. And he shuts the door in your face.
That was worth a shot. Outside of character, I'm not sure what else we could gain from them personally without finding his notes.
And again, we don't know that they're there, so...
Yeah, and I mean, I could break into the police station, but no.
Yeah, that's probably a bad idea too. And I mean, if this
Oh,
journalist is
come on.
looking into
It may be better for me to end up in a police cell than go with you there, but no.
this journalist may uncover some stuff on his own looking into this cult. So
Roscoe's been in enough jails to at least have run into somebody from South Carolina. He's like, you don't want to go to jail in North Carolina. Is no, don't
No.
do it.
not for breaking into a police department.
All right.
Well, I'm stumped and it's getting late, so we should probably get back before dark or much darker.
Yeah, I say we go back to the hotel and rest up for the journey.
All right. You return to the hotel.
And suggest we stop by that sheriff once we all convene again when we leave in the morning, since he's on the
Yeah,
way.
it sounds like it's on our way.
And with that, we shall close our session for this evening.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Man, you guys rock.
Right on time.
It's like I'm there listening to what's going on. No, seriously, Ben, you're a good keeper.
Yeah, this is really going smoothly.
It's all
Glad
gonna
you
go
guys are enjoying
downhill.
it.
You know it's gonna go downhill so fast.
It all fell
Kind
apart.
of save it all up slowly.
He's just building us up for a crushing defeat. This is what this is.
You can go downhill smoothly.
No, I imagine that like this has been a nice gradual incline, and then the drop off's just gonna be brutal.
Yeah, at least now we have one more stop before we actually hit.
Well,
Hit that.
I
Before
did
the
mention
ground
a thing called a
opens up.
hellhole, didn't I?
Yeah,
You know, it just opens up.
Yeah, I'm already worried
There's
about
no
that. I mean, that could take one of us at any time. I'm expecting luck rolls to start soon.
So that's why we're not sleeping on the ground floor. We want to sleep at least one floor up so that.
You guys are it's kind of like the roller coaster. You're hanging right at the top just before.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It feels like to me it's like that going upriver to find Colonel Kurtz kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's making me edgy.
Good.
Well,
What's that banjo music in the distance? That's what it feels like to me.
thanks, Ben.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
And
Thank
thanks
you.
for playing, guys. And thanks to
Thank
everybody
you guys. Thanks for hosting,
that
Mike.
watched or will watch in the future, the recorded version. We're on for our regular Saturday night Call of Cthulhu game at 9 p.m. Eastern, if anybody wants to watch that.
Oh, lovely. That's quite amusing.
Yeah. Patrick's doing a good job, too. And then, of course, the Sunday show at 6 o'clock Eastern, where we talk about Lovecraftian crap. So, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
My new logo. My new slogan, I mean.
Crafting crap, yeah.
Or something like that.
Or something like that.
Or something like that, yeah. Well, thanks, Ben. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
And
Anytime.
we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
See you guys soon.